Now on Face the State, the big news this week. UConn moving back to the Big East. What does it mean? What will it cost? Is it good for the state? We'll ask UConn trustee, former House Speaker Tom Ritter. Plus, state police resources used on the Jennifer Dulos case. What's being done in the investigation right now into Fotis Dulos, and what is it costing? Brian Foley from the state police is here. And a resurgent Connecticut Republican Party? Chairman J.R. Romano on why Governor Lamont actually helps the GOP. It's all straight ahead this Sunday, June 30th, 2019.
From Eyewitness News, Connecticut's most watched local political program, this is Face the State.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Sunday to you. It's 8:30. I'm Dennis House. Thanks for joining us for Face the State. We begin this morning with the big news of the week that really came at us rapidly in the recent days. UConn rejoining the Big East. And with us today to talk about this is the former Speaker of the Connecticut State House, Tom Ritter. He is now the interim chairman of the UConn Board of Trustees.
Correct.
And
good morning, Dennis.
Speaker Ritter, good to see you here in the
Same
program. Here. Give us a little bit of history for the younger viewers and those who don't remember when UConn was the Big East. How did that begin and how did it end?
Well, actually, that also came together very quickly. Dave Gavitt from Providence wanted to put together Eastern schools, mostly Catholic schools. In fact, UConn got invited, had 1 hour to say yes or not.
In the late 70s, correct?
Late 70s, yeah. John Toner, athletic director, accepted. And at that point, thought it was a big risk. And then it became the premier basketball conference in the country. We had teams were winning national championships left and right. And then what happened was football got involved. It was all basketball, football. So it became half basketball, half football, and then there's a split between the football and basketball schools. And that's why UConn ended up going to the AAC, because they wanted to play one league for both basketball and football.
And now UConn is back.
Yes.
Was it a bad move for UConn to leave it years ago?
Well, we all thought that we had to have football to protect basketball, and we wanted to go to a Power 5 conference or ACC, something of that nature. It just didn't work out. So I don't think it was a bad idea to do it. But it didn't work out like we thought. And so now we're going back to our roots, which is Big East and really power basketball.
And how will this improve UConn sports and attendance and things like that?
Well, I mean, everywhere I go, people are just saying it's the greatest thing in the world to come back. And these are natural rivalries. Georgetown, St. John's, Seton Hall, Providence. Instead of playing East Carolina, Houston, and it's really bad for our student athletes. They have to get on planes to go to Texas and Florida. So here, you actually, as Gene Auriemma said, I can get home, sleep in my bed at night after games. And so anyway, we're excited about that for our student athletes.
What about the financial windfall in terms of what UConn can make out of this?
Well, first of all, we're going to save a lot of money in travel costs. And then we will be part of a major conference, and NCAA revenues, depending on where you end up in the basketball standings, you get money for being in the tournament, things of that nature. So there'll be some upfront costs, but we believe over time it'll more than pay for itself. And I heard over the weekend we sold 800 tickets, basketball tickets. So that's something.
Season tickets.
Season tickets, yes.
Let's talk about that. This upfront money you're talking about. So It's $3.5 million to join the Big East, correct? And then it's $11 million to get out. Well,
that's still subject to negotiation because if we go 27 months in that league, it's less. But we don't. We've made our statement. We want to go to the Big East in a year, and so we'll negotiate with the AAC.
What will this mean for football?
Well, ideally, we'd like to stay in the AAC for football. Right now is probably not the best time to have that conversation, but probably they'll end up being independent as we look out where they should go. But I was talking to Dave Benedict last night, and he said that there's plenty of teams in the ACC, other teams that want to play us. So we'll have a very good schedule. I'm not worried about having a schedule and being having good football teams to play.
Because there are other independent teams out there.
Other independent, but also people in leagues who are looking for another game outside of their league.
Everyone talks about basketball being the most successful sport at UConn, and football needs some help. What would you like to see change in the football program to get it to attract more people?
Well, we have great facilities. We have the best facilities in the country. And what happened, unfortunately, was we had a couple coaching changes that didn't work out well. We have Randy Etzel back, and he's the one who built up our program originally. And he's in the process of rebuilding it.
There are some people, though, who complain about Rentschler Field, saying it's just the location. It should either be on campus or in downtown Hartford. And where it is right now is sort of a no man's land. There aren't any restaurants. There's been no development to speak of next to it.
You are now bringing back some nightmares. Okay,
just asking.
We originally wanted to build in stores.
Yes, I remember that.
People of Mansfield went crazy. Okay.
So when people say, why isn't it UConn, it's because the people didn't want it.
They didn't want to travel. They didn't want 20,000 cars in Mansfield on a Saturday. In Hartford, as you know, we tried to do that combined with Patriot Stadium, and that didn't work out. And at that point, UTC donated the land, and we were very happy to build the facility there.
Do you think that this new Big East contract will encourage lawmakers and perhaps the governor to do more for the Civic Center, the XL Center?
Absolutely. That's one of the byproducts. In fact, I talked to the governor that night. I went over to the mansion and talked to him. Who's very excited, by the way, to have us in the Big East. And we talked a little bit about the Civic Center. And as you know, Dave Lurbin, the Economic Development Commissioner, has gone through the Civic Center. The state's put some more money into it. We're looking for private dollars in there, too. And I think that'll be a natural byproduct of this decision. What's
on your wish list for that XL Center? Should it be completely redone, torn down, and rebuilt? Or what do you think?
I don't think you need to rebuild it. But, I mean, like Gino says, like the locker rooms are terrible, okay? But so you need to have the premium seats where the high rollers can the people really contribute a lot of money, have access. And just modernize it, because there's so many ways to get revenue out of a good stadium or a good coliseum that we're not getting.
You used to cajole lawmakers into voting a certain way and encourage them. What would you tell state lawmakers now, perhaps from Western Connecticut, who have no vested interest in Hartford, why they should support a new XL Center or a renovated XL Center?
Well, first of all, because I think once you renovate it, we will be generating dollars back to the state, in sales tax and everything else. And then, people talk about our business climate. Part of the reason for our decline in our business climate is that young people need a place they want a fun place. And the Civic Center, when it first built, attracted loads of young people. They went to the Whalers games and everything else. So as we attract the millenniums who we want to keep here in Hartford, that's a prime reason to stay for having a rebuilt Coliseum.
How is UConn doing financially since it left the Big East?
Well, sports-wise, it has not been what we turned out to be. Football is very expensive. And so we've been running big deficits in our athletic department. And this is part of the reason that we're doing this, to hope to turn that around.
How long before it gets turned around?
Well, we're talking about a decade before sports athletics will pay for itself.
So you think joining the Big East in 10 years and having football go independent, that there should be sort of a turnaround in the financial?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Okay. What is the future of UConn in terms of enrollment and things like that? I know a lot of people have complained about, people moving out of state and perhaps state colleges suffering a little bit.
Well, we belie everything. I mean, we could take 10,000 more students every year, and our SAT scores are getting higher and higher. We compete with Boston College for Connecticut kids. I mean, the University of Connecticut is a real success story. That is, and we are debating every year how many can we want to limit. But again, we may decide 5,000 more students because we can get that many more caliber kids every year.
And a final question: what's the early return on UConn Hartford downtown? How's it doing?
Oh, it's great. People love it. It's overflowing. There's more students there than we ever expected, and getting students downtown is great for us and great for the city of Hartford.
Former Speaker of the House Tom Ritter, now on the Board of Trustees, the interim chairman at UConn. We thank you for being on the program, sir.
You bet.
Have a good summer.
You too.
In a moment, new information on the disappearance of Jennifer Dulos. We'll talk about what state police are doing about it. Plus, we welcome you to watch past editions of Face the State on our app right now or on our YouTube channel.